Yeah, well, Janet Yellen's going to try to jumpstart the economy. Ha, ha, ha. Yeah, tell me another one. You know, there's only so much you can do with freaking playing games on paper. Reality catches up to the situation. That's actually why, we talk about real assets. I actually put that video out I don't know, a few weeks ago or so about how some of the real wealth is in seriously large real assets besides real estate. Actually, they're mainly in real estate first, but there's some interesting things coming up. Actually, silver's actually starting to behave a little more like money on the markets too. That's one thing that's interesting because as you're seeing the markets come down, even palladium and platinum, like palladium especially, it's like 90-something% industrial. If you're thinking, well, the markets are coming down because of problems in the economy, slowdown in China, what they're talking about, slowdown in China. Hey, what's up? Why is palladium taking a good bounce today when you're seeing the markets really stagnant? And, palladium has taken a major hit over the last several months, but the markets have taken actually probably more of a hit. You've seen palladium now going from like 5-something an ounce to 7-something an ounce, and maybe it'll get back up to that 900 or 1,000 or more. I expect it actually to go over the price of gold. But in the meantime, just kick back and enjoy the ride because, silver's always been an emotional metal. It's been something that is not designed for people that want a steady interest-bearing account or something like that, some kind of steady income off of an investment. It's an investment that's just going to sit there and not do a damn thing until you need it. And hopefully that time when you need it is going to be when food and energy prices are going to be very high. Now, it does look like energy prices, well, they have crept up pretty good today. I know, what I think's going on here, I'm going to actually kind of mention this because it looks like it looks politically incorrect to say either way on ISIS. Officially, it looks like the government is saying, oh, we're trying to stop ISIS and all this kind of crap. But unofficially, nah. Actually, I don't know exactly what the plan is, but it looks like maybe they're trying to create major problems in the Middle East or something. But you know what that spells? That spells major increases in the price of oil. Now, today, we saw, it's basically almost a 5% hike on a WTI. When oil's over $100 a barrel and it goes up $2.40, $2.41, it's, 2.41 or less percent hike. But today, being that it started out at about 46, that's about almost a 5% hike. That's a pretty damn good jump for one day. But, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be going up 5% every day, but it's a volatile. Commodities have always been volatile as all hell, but, and I think what's going on here is like the rushing bombing of ISIS and them hammering the shit out of their command centers, which, we could have done this a long time ago. I actually even realized, even on YouTube and Google, they don't want you criticizing ISIS. But then again, if you came out in favor of them, you'd be considered a terrorist. So I don't know what the hell's going on. It's like a subject you can't even say a damn thing about, really, one way or the other. But it does appear that we are indirectly behind ISIS, and I think, just using a little common sense, that's to foment as much turmoil in the Middle East, maybe bring down the Saudi regime, besides the Syrian regime. And, since we had all these oil wells go out of business, basically, if you saw the oil rigs, how they freaking just, the oil rig count in the United States has been just plummeting off like the side of a cliff, and oil companies have been going under left and right, and a lot of casualties out there. I think that, you're not going to be able to turn the spigots on if there's a problem in the Middle East, and we're going to see oil prices skyrocket, and that's when you're going to see your silver and gold skyrocket too. And the palladium and the platinum. So, I don't know. What I think they got going on here, though, is like, if there's a major crisis in the oil production, and also considering all the environmental controls they have out there, their long-term goal is to basically push us to electric cars, which will have so many computers in them, for one, which will track every move you have, and probably be driven by wire for a lot of different, or even controlled by how much mileage you can even drive it. Basically, a major move to a far more controlled society. That's one reason I'm against a lot of this Google cars technology, and even like, when we're talking about the electronic financial world, because the more things are in that type of format, the more control they have over you. When you go back to old school, they really don't have much control over you at all. Actually, I'm going to mention is something about one of my cousins. Actually, she's a female cousin, right? You would almost think she would not be doing all this stuff. She lives up north, but it's like over in the country. She has her own, she grows her own food. She uses regular horse manure for it, doesn't put any pesticides or herbicides on anything. She's got like grapes and tomatoes and, everything out there, pear trees, peach trees, all the vegetables and all that type of stuff. And they grow like fantastic because she uses the natural methods, and she's very healthy. She's like, she's in her 70s, but she's very healthy. But actually, that's probably going to be one person that's going to probably outsurvive even the most money bags Wall Street people out there. And that's really why we're talking about silver, because we're getting back to basics. Actually, I've wore a suit and tie most of my life, but I'm not really like a suit and tie person. I'm a regular person more. And I can tell you that the suits and the ties, even in this talking about silver and gold, they're always talking about it from the angle of getting rich or getting wealthy. I'm actually just looking at it from the angle of just getting back to basics. And it will play out where I think a lot of people are going to suffer fantastically. And, the ones that are naysayers and the mockers in the past are going to wind up being the beggars to you. And I really don't think you should help them out, to tell you the truth, because, they were the ones mocking you all this time. But it looks like things are starting to play out a lot more in our favor, even though the prices are very low. It just looks like silver's starting to behave a little more like money versus just a plain old commodity. And, the one I'm really looking at is, besides silver, is the platinum and the palladium, moving up very well today while the markets are basically stagnant. It's telling you that money is actually moving into real goods. And I've always known that the real wealthy keep most of their money in hard assets. They always have a lot of cash relative to what we have, but as a percentage, they do not have a lot of cash. They do not use a lot of cash. But I'm going to tell you that, the trail that we're leaving with silver behind, like the way things are going, it almost looks like it's not going good for the last few years. But if you look over the last 30 years, the dollar has been in a long-term downward trend. The last few years, you see an uptick. But I'm not showing you a chart, but I've seen the charts. If you look back from the 70s on, going back decades, the dollar has been in a long-term downward trend. It's not like a straight line. It has these little bounces. So we had a little bounce in the dollar recently. The next time the dollar goes down, it probably will be in an index of maybe in the 60s. And, where I was talked about, China's also had its special drawing rights approved for its currency. So now it's one of the world reserve currencies. That's more impetus for the dollar to be, weakened. So, and that, China's also, we also know about China's like supposedly having all these problems. They are having problems. I don't really know what the hell that means exactly, because I'm going to be flat out honest with it, because the Chinese numbers, they can't be trusted. There's so many people that give you information can't be trusted. I think that they probably are having some severe problems for this common sense reason, is that they really don't have a domestic economy. So if Europe is suffering and the other BRIC nations are suffering and the U.S. is suffering, their majority of the Chinese economy is export. They got to be suffering in a real sense. I don't really think their growth rate is 5, 6, 7%, like they're talking. I know they're always saying it's 7%. That's total BS. But what's probably going to happen in the United States, I think, is we're probably going to go back to old traditions. Like, a lot of people actually, even today, they always recognize. A lot of Americans actually even say they're part Cherokee ancestry. I don't know what it is. It probably isn't really true. But a lot of people do say that. And, I think it's something of an ideological type of thing that's in their mind. See, that's the real American spirit. But one of the problems we're going to have in the USA is as we see more economic problems, there's going to be an exodus of capital out of the country, an exodus of brain power, and also the American companies that are the largest American companies are going to leave the country too. Which I don't really give a shit. Go ahead. Actually, sometimes I like watching Pete over there at Southwest Rod and Custom, the DIY auto school and stuff, and I know he always talks about the corporation. I don't know, if I was actually doing that type of work, I'd probably I would be somewhere between an Earl Scheib and what he does, because I would just get it out there and get it out the door cheap enough and using all local goods and not going the restoration wear route, but just keeping people going for cheaply for more years. And that's really what it's going to come down to. We're going to be a lot more people that are going to be doing individual cottage industry, not even so much like small businesses where you have a half a dozen to 50 employees or something. It's probably going to be individual mom and pop shop cottage industry that's going to actually save America. That's what America's been about in the first place. We talk about the Cherokee Indian. We always had the Indian motorcycle too. The Indian motorcycle has that great nostalgic name. It's Americana all the way. I also want to sneak in a little something here too. I was talking about this batteryizer product a couple times on. I'm going to tell you one thing. I'm not going to get on anything about anything technical on this, or engineering wise, or what it is, or if it's a jewel thief or whatever. But I'm going to tell you, financial wise. First off, they got these people who put out this product. I'll tell you one thing. How to recognize a financial scam, and this is how it's not a financial scam. They got several patents out on this product. I'm going to probably use this product in my survival gear when I get it. It probably does work very well. I think it's actually a major hit on the battery companies, and that can be very useful if we have emergency situations, because you always need batteries, and if you can extend their lives, hey, that's very important. So that's a very important function. But here we have patents. Actually, these people have over 500 patents out. They're PhDs, engineers for decades, and you have, the former CEO of Kmart and CPA and financial MBA. These people are not trying to facilitate a scam, as the internet crazies are saying. Over $380,000 split like a dozen ways or more. That's crazy. That's ludicrous. So I can tell you from a financial angle, there is no scam going on here. I'm going to continue to mention this product in a lot of my videos because of all the trolls that have been following me around. And I actually, in the meantime, before we get that product, we're going to have that Bedini Renaissance charger. I'm going to actually try to do some things with it to restore Duracell, Everready, and Rayovac alkaline batteries that are not rechargeable, that you're not supposed to do at all. But I'm going to use the methods that I use, and not that you should, but we're going to see what kind of results we get with that, because I got some pretty good results doing some restoring them in steps and stages, and for 15 or 20 minutes at a time on regular electronic chargers. But that whole game with silver is about survival, and survival is a multi-faceted concept. It's not something that is just all about silver, silver, silver. It's about food, firepower, and fuel. Fuel prices are going to be going up very high. Food prices are going to be going up very high when silver's going up very high. Hillary's talking about disarming the population. And, of course, the powers that be probably see Islam and Sharia law as a a godsend to freaking control the people. But as always, anybody that ever tried to control Islam, it has always backfired on them. And you know what happens, man? It's like Islam just eats up the elite that try to control them. But in the meantime, I don't want to be a part of that bullshit. You know, I don't want no part of that. But I'll tell you this, since Hillary's talking about extremism and freaking all this kind of crap, I want to say anybody that's a Hillary supporter is an extremist. I'll say that. And should be dealt with by the same rules that Hillary's trying to put out. Hey, it's a two-edged sword, bitch. I'll tell you that right now. So, I'm just putting out a little bit of a simple update here, but I'm just going to tell you that when the bottom really does, if you look last time when the bottom fell out of the markets in 2009, it was actually March. It was like the end of February or beginning of March 2009. I think we hit a rock bottom on the markets. Gold and silver and oil already have taken their hits. The problem is, I've been saying this, and I'm even thinking, I don't know how low damn silver can go, but some people were predicting $8 and stuff. But I'm telling you that, now that we're seeing the markets coming down, and we're also seeing silver, gold, platinum, and palladium starting to behave a little more like precious metals and money as a store of wealth. I think that the markets will be coming down a hell of a lot more, and we probably will see gold, silver, platinum, and palladium rising. The tensions in the Middle East are moving up. And, like I said, it's like catch-22. I mean, if I put out a video criticizing ISIS, it's not well received by, powers that be. But at the same time, I can't put a video out praising ISIS. So what it really looks like is that the powers that be are pushing ISIS, but on the surface they're acting like they're trying to fight ISIS. Which means I think they're actually trying to create as much turmoil as possible in the Middle East. And when that happens, there's going to be so much oil off the market, oil price is going to go right through the roof, food's going to go right through the roof. We're also going into the global mini ice age, which is also going to put a lot more demand on home heating oil and a food supply. Man, we got some serious shit coming up, man. But I think my cousin will be okay. She might be one of the few ones because she's very independent and does her stuff on her own. Actually, this here picture with this woman standing on top of the motorcycle, that would have been a true woman's rightist right there. I don't even want to call it a feminist because I think feminist is a dirty word. It just means New World Order, anti-male operative. But this would have been a true woman's rightist right here. Hey, baby, I'm doing my own thing. I'm wearing pants, I'm wearing boots, and I'm riding a motorcycle standing on top of the seat. But you won't see you won't see anybody else doing that stuff in today's day and age. You won't even see an Army Ranger doing this. That's a female that just passed the course because, that's all politicized too. That's really what's going on. It's all politicized. But, by them actually, I could see exactly what's going on. And, Obama and Hillary and Jeb Bush are blatant communists. That's what we got going on. Trump is not perfect. I know that. Sorry to disagree with you, Pete. I know Trump acts like the New Jersey high and mighty freaking I'm rich guy. But you know what? He's the best. Compared to everybody else, man. The only thing I was worried about with that guy was if he was going to run on a third party, because I think that would have been the Ross Perot setup for another Clinton victory. But it doesn't look like it. So, there's no such thing as a perfect person. But basically he is a guy that's out for the USA, number one. And, I don't know if he's going to make it because the major media is totally against this guy to the max. But, I'll say this, as an individual, whatever the powers are, and whatever the powers try to tell me what to do, I will go against it. And, I'm going to tell you right now, you could see what kind of person I am because, I could have easily backed down about this batterizer product. I didn't even give a shit about it, tell you the truth. I just put it out there one time and be like, hey, this is an interesting concept. I just realized something was fishy when all the attacks came. So I attacked them back, which actually did not help my channel out because they're trolling the shit out of me. But I can tell you one thing. Does that mean I'm a sellout? Because, no, I go against the grain, man. There could be a million freaking people out there on YouTube saying this and that. I'll go against the grain. Whether, because I'll tell you one thing. From one angle, this is right now. This is more of a financial video. I will not put it. I'm not putting something out here like technical or engineering wise. I'll tell you one thing. From a financial angle, this product is not a scam. There's no way in hell with these $380,000, which they had a goal of $30,000. They would not. They had an initial goal of $30,000, and they exceeded their goal by like 1,000-something%. They got like $380,000 on the crowdfunding on pre-orders for a real product. There's no financial scam there because these people can command, even a CPA that works there could command, $200,000 plus salaries. What are you kidding me? Or what are you going to do? Split $380,000 12 ways after all their expenses, after putting out 6 patents, after getting FCC approval, and run away with the money, leave the country? What are you kidding me? I realize there's something going on with the battery companies with this deal, and it's almost like it reminds me of, I backed off a lot when I was criticizing, say, Brother John F. way back when. Silver, he was talking about $500 silver, and that other yo-yo was talking about $1,000 silver. I didn't know where exactly it was going to go, but I didn't believe that bullshit. And, anytime I said that, I was getting attacked like crazy. But actually, I didn't think it was going to go down like as low as it went today, where it is today. But I thought it was going to go down but well below the 20. It was going to go down to 24 something. And before it started going back up again. And, if I would have actually said exactly what I would have thought, I would have got attacked like crazy. So I have to actually back off a little bit exactly what I think. So, unfortunately, I can't give you the total unbiased, blatant truth. But unfortunately, the total unbiased, blatant truth would be so extremely unpopular on YouTube. It would, at the same time, it would probably be far more accurate than what you're getting elsewhere on YouTube. But I'm dropping enough hints. We're probably just this stuff. I'm always constantly going. The theme I'm putting out on silver is about going back to the old ways and old school. We probably are the only ones that are going to survive are going to be like that. As a matter of fact, the American Indians said at one time, way back when, that the youth of America will one day adopt our ways again. I can tell you, like right now, I have another cousin that lives way up in New England, up in the country, different cousin. She was diagnosed with terminal cancer and all this type of stuff like that. They're going to do all this stuff, and you're not going to live 6 months even if we do these operations. She started dealing with the American Indians. I know some of the stuff she did with shaga. Shaga was one of the herbs I was talking about. She's got her whole cancers in total remission. The American medical establishment couldn't do that. Not to say that everything you're out there in the snake oil alternative medical world is correct, but stuff that's been around thousands of years that has survived in tribal herbalistic medicines are true. And you know what? Silver has been money for many hundreds of years. So, go eat an electron, go eat some fiat. I know you can't eat silver, but you know what? Even silver has some disinfectant uses. It does have disinfectant uses. It even has certain medical applications in certain ways. It's not the big cure-all some people put it out to be, but it does have applications even in the medical world. Before penicillin, they used to use colloidal silver. So, it does have use, no matter how you look at it. But, we can go talk about that even more, about how the old Roman soldiers used to have to keep 1 denarius, which was like the dime, in their stomach at all time. When they excreted it, they had to wash it off and re-ingest it. The denarius, this microscopic denarius, silver coming off the denarius, was actually helped them to stay healthy out in the field. Probably that's one little aspect you probably didn't even know about silver way back when. It's been known for many, many centuries. So anyway, old school is probably going to survive. New tech is what's being used by the elite to screw us over and control us. And I say, to hell with that bullshit. I'd rather ride a custom chopper with points and carburetors and no Google cars, and if maybe someday even a vegetable oil diesel engine, and we're going to be getting into some other things about how to thrive and survive in this upcoming problems we have coming up, and hands-on stuff besides just talk. So I'll just leave you go right now. I got to do some more work on my Suzuki Samurai Jeep. I've been cleaning up that top and getting it adjusted. I ordered some. You saw that video. I lifted the top up and got the top for that thing for the winter on the Jeep, the old survival Jeep, and I'll be getting that thing. I got ordered some strip caulking for that. I'll be getting that, and I'll probably be uploading a video on that when it's completely buttoned down, really solid, and 100% freaking weather tight to the max. So, but in the meantime, I'll be working on that today too, and just keep working, stay busy. Don't I like YouTube for this reason mainly. It's got a lot of instructional videos on there, a lot of information. The major stuff that is always trending amongst the masses, which I call them the lemmings, is stuff I never watch, almost ever. But communications and exchange of ideas is a very good thing, and we were going to survive by that, because what somebody might know over there, I might not know here, or what I might know here, you might not know over there, and we're going to keep sharing this information. And the way to do that is going to be on YouTube for now. This is the best way I know of. But despite the trolls, but I'll fight those bastards too. So anyway, over now, and have a good day. And it looks like, I think before the end of the year, you're going to see the markets way down. You're going to see silver really taking off to prices that are pretty good. But beware of that, the bullshit artist talking about the $500 silver and $1,000 silver. If we ever have that, I went long on this video, but if we ever have $500 silver, or $300 silver, $250 or $1,000 silver, or whatever, the United States is not going to be around in the same form as it is. And the last thing you're going to be worried about is those damn coins. You're going to be worried about food, firepower, and fuel. Trust me on that.